Myself, Advocate Varun Kumar. I'm the founder and owner of Law Audience. Today, we are organizing a webinar session in collaboration with Joint Juris Journal on the topic of abuse of dominant position in competition law. So, Advocate Suraj Chandil is also present. He is the founder and owner of Joint Jurist. So, today we have a very special guest with us, Sabrina Bath ma'am. She is assistant professor at UILS Chandigarh. So I request from Sabrina ma'am, please take the stage and start with the session.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, without wasting any more time, should I just jump into the session or do we need to
Yes.
wait?
No,
Okay.
ma'am, we can start the session.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. So, today we are going to be discussing in today's session, we are going to be discussing one of the most significant provisions under the Indian Competition Law, that is your Indian Competition Act of 2002, in relation to Section 4, which talks about the abuse of dominant position. So, this is what our topic for discussion today is. Before I jump into the session, I'm going to start the session with a very simple question for all of us, that is it simply illegal for a company to become extremely successful or dominant in a market? Can we say that companies like, for example, if we take companies like Google and Apple, they have established a particular brand value and name in the market? If we talk about Google, it is very well known for its online search engines, your Gmail. Now it has also jumped into your phone industry, your Google Pixel phones and all. Now it is having a very dominant position in the online search engine market. Now, similarly, when I talk about Apple or Samsung, these two are two brands that you would trust to buy if you want to buy a smartphone or even a iPad, any such gadget. You would trust these two brands blindly, Apple or Samsung. They have that built-in brand value, and we can say that they are dominating the smartphone market. Now, can we say that simple dominance in the market is illegal or is it not allowed? That is what we are going to be discussing in today's session. What is dominant position, and when does the companies that are enjoying certain dominant position in the market, in what circumstances does this dominant position convert into a abuse of dominant position scenario, and when does your competition law intervene? So with regards to competition law, what am I going to be talking about today is how, what constitutes, what behaviors, what patterns constitute dominance, how dominance is assessed by your Competition Act of 2002, by your Competition Commission of India, and under what circumstances does this dominance turn into unlawful abuse. Okay, so I'm going to be starting with a very simple definition of what is dominance under your Competition Act of 2002. Varun, is my speed okay, or do I need to slow down? Is it fine?
Fine, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. So now, before we start talking about dominance or what is dominant position under the competition law, one core concept that we have to keep in mind is it is in no way illegal or it is in no way unlawful for any enterprise, any company, or for that example, any person also to have a brand value or a dominant position in the market. No way is your Competition Act under Section 4 saying that it is illegal to have a dominance in the market or a dominant position. So your Section 4 of your Competition Act is basically defining your dominant position as a position of strength which is enjoyed by an enterprise in the relevant market that enables it either to operate, that enables that particular enterprise enterprise to either operate independently of competitive forces, or it can have a certain influence over competitors and consumers and bring the market in its favor. Now, this definition, which is given under Section 4 of your Competition Act, has two important aspects. The first aspect is a dominant enterprise enjoys a degree of independence from market pressures. Now, when I've quoted examples of Apple, Samsung, and Google, I am saying, what I'm trying to say is, now since these companies have a dominant position, they have that brand value. They now tomorrow, if today or tomorrow another company, say for example company X, comes into the market, and it is also coming into the market of smartphones, do Samsung and Apple need to be immediately be worried that their established brand value, their established consumer base is going to be disturbed? No, because they have through these years, they have established that brand value, that position in the market, that even if a new competitor is coming into the market, they would not necessarily be worried that the consumer base is going to shift from Apple or Samsung into a new competitor X. Okay, now second core component of what dominance is under Section 4 of your Competition Act is that such enterprises have the ability to influence market conditions in a manner that is favorable to itself, whether by taking certain pricing decisions, having a control over distribution channels, access to resources, and consumer behavior. Now, similarly, like Apple or Samsung, whenever they're launching new phones, now we are all, I believe most of our participants today are these younger generations now. Usually Apple has a time, that springtime, around September, they usually come up with their new gadgets. They launch their new phone models, iPad models, their new laptop models. Everyone is always very eager as to what new models are going to come. We are going to maybe dive in, buy those models. Now, why? What is one? Obviously, I can say that there is a sort of a symbol that we see that, okay, I'm using this particular brand. But other than that, if I talk about Apple and Samsung, there is a trust in these products. There is a consumer trust in these companies, that they are going to deliver good products. So when we are talking about dominant position under Section 4, it is nothing. What the Competition Act is simply saying that these enterprises are basically having a position of strength, considerable impact they have on the consumer behaviors in the relevant market that they are enjoying. Now, what your Competition Act, now what we are talking about in relation to, we are going to, there has to be a difference between what is dominant position and what is abuse of dominant position. Now, if I have a company, like if Apple is a company which has a dominant position in the market, now for example, today company X wants to launch its own products through a new mobile phone model into the market. If Apple or Samsung is going to indulge in any unlawful practices, like they are going to cut the market access for a new company X, or they are going to use strategies like predatory pricing, that they are going to maybe lower the prices of the product so much that a new competitor cannot enter the market, or they're going to cut the access to technology for a new competitor to build their new products. If these companies are indulging in any such behavior, then it is going to be considered as a abuse of dominant position. So under your Section 4 of your Competition Act, it is very simply saying that there is no problem for an enterprise to have a dominant position in the market. Instead, the Competition Act 2002 is itself encouraging companies to, you know, um, introduce new products into the market, to have new competitors into the market, for more companies to enter the market so that consumers can have more choices. They are basically encouraging innovation or competitors to enter the market. They are saying that even if you're enjoying a dominant position, you've established a consumer base, it is good to go. But the moment where you are starting to use your established dominance in the market in illegal manner. That is, if you're going to cut the access for competitors from entering into the market, if you're going into such ways, then it is going to amount as a abuse of dominant position, and that is what is not allowed under section 4 of your Competition Act. Okay, now next, before now, I think we've covered two things: what is dominant position, and how is it different from abuse of dominant position, and what is allowed under Act, and what is not allowed. So dominant position is itself is allowed under your Competition Act, but if you're abusing that dominant position to cut access for competitors, or to determine the pricing patterns in the markets, any which way, in which where your consumers are basically suffering, that is not allowed under the Act. Now, how do we determine if a certain enterprise that is having a dominant position in the market, how do we determine if that enterprise mm, has abused its dominant position or not? Now, the first step in determination of abuse of dominant position in the market is, for that, the first thing that you determine it, what is the relevant market in which there is a dominant position and in which the abuse of dominant position has occurred. Now, when we talk about relevant market under your Competition Act, the term relevant market is nothing. It is basically saying the concerned market in which the enterprise is selling its products. Now, if I talk about companies like Apple, or if I talk about Amazon, Apple is the relevant market for Apple is your mobile sector, your gadget technology market. And for your, if I talk about Amazon as a service provider, the relevant market would be your e-commerce market. Right now, in relevant market also, there are two. Now, before deciding if a company is dominant or not, your Consumer Commission of India is going to basically raise a first fundamental question that they're going to raise is, domination, the dominant position is in relation to which market? So basically, a company may appear to be powerful in one market, but it may be facing intense competition in another market. Therefore, unless you basically first define what the market is, you cannot assess the dominance accurately. So the Competition Act recognizes the relevant market has two dimensions. First is your relevant product market, and second is your relevant geographic market. Now, when we talk about relevant product market is the market which is consisting of your products or services that the consumers are regarding as interchangeable or substitutable based upon the characteristics, the price, and the intended use of the product. Now, for example, if I take your two beverages, Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Now, in relevant market, the relevant market for these is going to be the relevant product market. Now, Coca-Cola is a beverage, Pepsi is a beverage. Now, tomorrow, if a situation comes that there is a price hike in your bottles of Coke. Now, for example, if they're selling a particular bottle or 200 ml bottle of Coke for 20 rupees. Now, if in the coming few days, if they decide that they're going to change the price of that 200 ml bottle of Coke, they're going to increase the price to rupees 40 for a 200 ml bottle, whereas Pepsi decides to keep the standard price for a 200 ml bottle of Pepsi for 20 rupees only. There is going to be a certain shift. Now, your consumers will naturally they will opt for a cheaper source, because Coke and Pepsi, they're almost the same beverages. Okay, almost similar in taste also. Now, when we talk about relevant product market, we are basically saying that for a product, if there are two competitors and there can be substitutability of one product from the product of another competitor. Now, tomorrow, if the prices of Coke are hiked up, you have a substitute product from Pepsi, that is your relevant product market. Now, when I talk about relevant geographic market is basically the market in which the area where your competitive conditions are similar for the products. Now, if I talk about the housing markets, now, for example, if I talk about the housing sector in Gurgaon or in Chandigarh, for example, now, if I want to take a house on rent in Chandigarh, I am going to be comparing the relevant geographic market. I'm going to be comparing the rent prices in Chandigarh in the in your Tri-City. What is the rent that I have to pay in Mohali, Chandigarh, or Panchkula? I would not be comparing it with the rent conditions in Gurgaon, right? So relevant geographic market is the competition conditions are similar in that particular territorial jurisdiction. Now, tomorrow, when I'm saying about your rent conditions, now tomorrow, if one of us wants to go and rent a flat, we are not going to directly go the first flat you like. You're not going to take it on rent. You tend to compare it with you're going to contact 2-3 other brokers. You're going to draw a comparison with the area. Where is the rent more affordable? What are the facilities that are available around that area? And then decide, right? So relevant geographic market is the competitors are going to be available in the same territorial jurisdiction. Relevant product market is the product of one company of a similar nature be substituted by the product of the of another company. So before you're determining dominance, before you're determining if you have a dominant position in the market, if you have to determine if there is an inquiry before the CCI where somewhere is claiming that this particular company was enjoying a dominant position in the market and they have abused their dominant position, the first question that CCI is going to address, the first issue that CCI is going to address is what is the relevant market where such dominant position has been enjoyed, and what is the relevant market where such dominant position has been abused. Okay, now I will also give you another example of two of your platforms, that is YouTube and Netflix. Now, if I talk about in a broad category, these two platforms appear to be very similar because YouTube is also a OTT platform. Netflix is also an OTT platform. Now, if you think about it, do you think YouTube and Netflix are direct competitors of each other? Now, if I talk about Netflix, do you think YouTube is a direct competitor for Netflix, or a platform like Jio Hotstar or Amazon Prime would be a direct competitor? If we talk about the broad category, YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Jio Hotstar, these are all your OTT platforms. Now, where the difference comes is YouTube is basically giving you user generated content. YouTube has two features. One is you can watch all those videos, you can consume the content that is available on YouTube in two ways. One is for free, you just have to log into YouTube as a platform and you will be able to have access to all the videos that have been uploaded on the platform. Now, second option is there's also a subscription that comes for YouTube. Now, that subscription basically helps you to, jump from those ads. Okay. Now when I compare it to a platform like Netflix does not have the option of does not give the option to the consumers to have access to any free content. If you want to watch something on Netflix, if you want to watch a show or a movie on Netflix, you will have to take a subscription of some sort. Similarly, for Amazon Prime or Jio Hotstar also, to an extent, if you want to watch shows on those platforms, you have to take subscription. Whereas in YouTube, you have the option of watching movies or content on that platform without subscription. So if tomorrow a case comes where Netflix is claiming that, a movie that was released on Netflix, a bio-pirated copy was made available on a pirated version was made available on YouTube also, and Netflix goes ahead and claims before CCIC, YouTube is a competitor. They have made that same movie that we were going to be making available to our subscribers only. Now YouTube, because there is a pirate version, people can watch it on YouTube for free. Now the first thing that CCI, before looking into this matter, is going to determine if both these platforms enjoy some sort of dominance and what is the relevant market for these for both these platforms. In most of the cases, what CCI is going to say is CCI is going to rule down the plea that has been raised by Netflix, that even though the content has been made available for free on YouTube, YouTube is not a direct competitor for you. A direct competitor for Netflix here would be a subscription based platform like Amazon Prime or Jio Hotstar or any such other platform. Okay, now
Excuse
after
me,
this,
ma'am.
yes.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am, but a few students are requesting if you could explain these points in a bilingual language, ma'am. So for the better
And
clarity, bilingual language, मैम हिंदी या इंग्लिश में
ठीक
मैम
है,
आप थोड़ा सा
सो
करके
बेसिकली
बताइए।
मैं क्या बोल रही हूँ कि आपका जब हमने सिंपली, मैं आपको एक करक्स में समरी में ब्रीफ में बताती हूँ। हमारा अगर हम सेक्शन 4 ऑफ योर कंपटीशन एक्ट 2002 के बारे में बात करें, वो एक कॉन्सेप्ट के बारे में डील कर रहा है, अब्यूज ऑफ डोमिनेंट पोजीशन। अब्यूज ऑफ डोमिनेंट पोजीशन हम कैसे डिटर्मिन करते हैं? पहले हम डिटर्मिन करते हैं कि उस पर्टिकुलर कंपनी की एक डोमिनेंट पोजीशन है। डोमिनेंट पोजीशन सिंपली एक कंपनी की एक ब्रांड वैल्यू है, एक कंपनी की एक ऐसी पोजीशन है कि वो बाकी अपने कंपेटिटर्स से बेटर है। ठीक है, अगर मैं एप्पल बोलूं, सैमसंग बोलूं, मोबाइल फोन मार्केट में वो बाकी कंपेटिटर्स जैसे वीवो, ओप्पो, इन सब से बेटर है। ठीक है, नाउ कंपटीशन एक्ट 2002 सिंपली ये कह रहा है कि डोमिनेंट पोजीशन होना इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम। ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं है कि आपकी एक डोमिनेंट पोजीशन है, प्रॉब्लम ये है कि अगर आपकी डोमिनेंट पोजीशन है, आप उसको अब्यूज कर रहे हो कि नहीं। अब आप कैसे कैसे कंसिडर करोगे कि किसी ने अपनी डोमिनेंट पोजीशन अब्यूज की है कि नहीं? बेसिकली अगर सपोज मेरी कंपनी है, मेरा फॉर एग्जाम्पल मेरा बहुत अच्छा बिजनेस चल रहा है चंडीगढ़ में और मेरे बहुत सारे कंज्यूमर्स आ रहे हैं। मेरा बुटीक है, मेरे कपड़े खरीदने के लिए सब आ रहे हैं। सबरीना के बुटीक पे सब कपड़े खरीदने आ रहे हैं, सबको मेरे कंज्यूमर बेस है, लोग मेरे ही कपड़े खरीद के। पिटिशन लॉ कह रहा है कि ये अलाउड है। मैं अपनी वो एक क्योंकि मेरे पास एक कंज्यूमर बेस है, लोग मेरा ही मेरे करके पहनना चाह रहे हैं, उस चीज को अगर मैं मिसयूज करके एक बुटीक या कुछ सेटअप करना चाहता है, मैं सेट करने के लिए उसको अपॉर्चुनिटी कट कर दूं, या फिर कल हो इफ इंट्रोड्यूसिंग अ प्रोडक्ट, अपने प्रोडक्ट्स कम कर दूं कि मेरा कोई कंपटीशन आ ही ना सके उस मार्केट में, या फिर मैं अपने कंज्यूमर्स को बेसिकली मैं ऐसे ऑफर्स देने शुरू कर, मैं एक प्रोडक्ट, तुम मेरा एक प्रोडक्ट लोगे तो तुम्हें 2 प्रोडक्ट्स और फ्री मिलेंगे। मैं ऐसे इररेलेवेंट चीजें अगर करनी शुरू करूं, हाँ, मैं अपने कंपनी को मार्केट में एंटर करने से रोक रही, उसको हम अब्यूज ऑफ डोमिनेंस कहते हैं। एंड अब्यूज ऑफ डोमिनेंस आपका इसकी क्वेरी सबसे पहले केसेस कहाँ अंडर कंपटीशन, योर कंपटीशन कमिश्नर एड्रेसेस वो सारे केसेस ऑफ योर रिलेशन टू कंपटीशन एक्ट 2000 की सारे केसेस आपके फाइल होते हैं विद योर द मेन गवर्निंग बॉडी योर कंपटीशन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया। नाउ अगर किसी कंपनी ने जाके कल को है इसने अपनी डोमिनेंट पोजीशन में अब्यूज किया है एंड शी हैज नॉट लेट मी compete in the market, your competition commission of India, the first question that will ask is आप दोनों जिस मार्केट compete कर रहे हो वो रेलेवेंट मार्केट क्या है? नाउ रेलेवेंट अगर वरुण कह रहे हैं, सपोज हमारा मार्केट है क्लोथिंग मार्केट, फैशन इंडस्ट्री, मैं वरुण के साथ अपनी डोमिनेंट पोजीशन अब्यूज की है तो इसे वो केस को लेगा। बट अगर उनका कल को जाके बोलता है कि सबना बिजनेस है में कपड़ों, मेरे को मोबाइल फोन का बिजनेस सेटअप करना था, तब से आप मोबाइल फोन का बिजनेस ही सेटअप कर पाया, इस अपील
Sorry
नहीं
for
मानेगी।
interrupting
सो
you, ma'am.
बिफोर
Internet is unstable.
नाउ, हेलो,
Yes, ma'am. Now, okay.
so what I'm trying to say is CCI, before listening to some case, before hearing to any matter, वो सब कि जब दो लोग जो केस फाइल कर रहे हैं, यू हैव टू इंश्योर कि वो सेम प्रोडक्ट के लिए compete कर रहे हैं, सेम रेलेवेंट मार्केट में compete कर रहे हैं। रेलेवेंट ट्राइफिकेशन है, एक प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में बेसिकली दे आर सेइंग इज, एक प्रोडक्ट अगर मैंने लॉन्च किया है, वही प्रोडक्ट अगर वरुण ने लॉन्च किया है, कल को सबीना अपने प्रोडक्ट का प्राइस 10 टाइम्स इंक्रीज कर देती है, बट वरुण अपने प्रोडक्ट का प्राइस वही रखता है, तो लोगों के पास एक ऑप्शन है मेरे प्रोडक्ट से उसके प्रोडक्ट करने का। लाइक कोक का प्राइस बढ़ गया, पेप्सी का प्राइस सेम रहा, लोगों का वो सेम एवरेज में स्विच करने का ऑप्शन है, उसको रेलेवेंट प्रोडक्ट मार्केट बोलते हैं। रेलेवेंट ज्योग्राफिक मार्केट इज फॉर हाउसिंग सेक्टर ले लो, आपको कहीं पे फ्लैट्स, आप स्टूडेंट्स ले जा रहे हो, आपको फ्लैट रेंट पे करना है, फ्लैट रेंट पे लेना है, आप सबसे पहले अगर चंडीगढ़ में फ्लैट रेंट पे लेना है तो रेंटल रेट्स आप चंडीगढ़ में फ्लैट्स कम करोगे या गुड़गांव में, बॉम्बे में अवेलेबल फ्लैट में कंपेयर करोगे? फॉर इट इज दैट वी आर गोइंग टू कंपेयर Chandigarh. So relevant geographic market is competition prices same jurisdiction में वो determine करते हैं। Is it okay? Suresh, is this fine? इस way में is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Maybe ma'am
Hello.
students
Yeah.
understand कर पा रहे
Yeah.
होंगे मैम।
हाँ, so I'll just turn off my video for a while because I feel मेरा net is a bit weak, so वो बीच में मैं video थोड़ा सा off रखूंगी so that net थोड़ा stable रहे, ठीक है? Now, next is after you've determined your relevant market. Now, after defining the relevant market, the second step जो आपका competition commission, before proceeding to determine whether a enterprise, a company is possessing a dominant position or not within the market, उसके लिए there are 5 factors that have been given under section 19(4) of your Competition Act. Now, first step is dominant position थी, ठीक है, determine हो गई, dominant position थी, relevant market determine हो गया। अब dominant position को determine करने के लिए भी आपके Competition Act में they've given you 5 additional factors under section 19(4) that the CCI considers before hearing to any matter in relation to your abuse of dominance की complaints. The first factor is market share. Now, the commission market share से क्या, what do we mean by market share? If a company is saying, now if there are two companies, company A and company B is claiming कि company A ने अपना dominant position को abuse किया है, CCI के सामने जाके उन्हें ये complaint रख दी. So before CCI starts interrogating, before CCI starts looking into that complaint, the first factor with respect to section 19(4) to determine dominance, the first factor that CCI is going to look into is the market share of the company. Now, what the CCI has stated is, if the company has a large market share, it is a bit easy to determine large market share है तो शायद dominance हो सकती है, but market share alone is not a indicative factor, but 1% अगर वो कह रहे हैं अगर 70% market share है उस कंपनी का, उस मार्केट में, अगर सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल एप्पल का मार्केट शेयर आपके टेक सेक्टर में बहुत ज्यादा है, तो इट इन अ वे इट डिटरमिन्स कि हाँ एप्पल की टेक्नोलॉजी सेक्टर में एक डोमिनेंस है। नाउ सेकंड इज इकोनॉमिक रिसोर्सेज। नाउ इकोनॉमिक रिसोर्सेज ऑब्वियसली अगर मेरी कंपनी के पास, एप्पल के पास, आपके पास ज्यादा मार्केट शेयर है, इट इज डायरेक्टली सिग्निफाइंग कि उनके पास इकोनॉमिक रिसोर्सेज भी ज्यादा है, ज्यादा मार्केट शेयर है, डोमिनेंट पोजीशन है, ज्यादा प्रोडक्ट्स वो सेल कर रहे हैं, विच मीन्स दैट उनका रेवेन्यू जनरेशन भी ज्यादा आ रहा है, उनके पास इकोनॉमिक रिसोर्सेज भी ज्यादा है। कंज्यूमर डिपेंडेंस फैक्टर है, एप्पल सैमसंग पे ज्यादा डिपेंडेंट है, ठीक है। एंट्री बैरियर्स, नाउ क्या एप्पल और सैमसंग ने, बिकॉज उनके पास ज्यादा मार्केट शेयर्स हैं, उनके पास ज्यादा पैसा है, उनके इकोनॉमिक रिसोर्सेज स्ट्रॉन्ग है, उनके पास अच्छा गुड ब्रांड वैल्यू एंड कंज्यूमर डिपेंडेंस है, have they used all these factors to bar the entry, to stop other competitors from entering into the technology sector? अगर सबसे important factor यहाँ determine करने के लिए आया है entry barriers. Now, if the CCI in its inquiry, if CCI determines कि हाँ, a company like for example Apple या Samsung में से किसी एक के अगेंस्ट किसी कंपनी एक्स ने कंप्लेंट डाली हुई है दैट दे आर अब्यूजिंग द डोमिनेंट पोजीशन, they are not letting me enter as a competitor into the technology market, ठीक है। उनने अपना सारा ब्रांड वैल्यू को इलीगली यूज करके उनने मेरे को एंटर ही नहीं, compete ही नहीं करने दे रहे। मेरे लिए सारी टेक्नोलॉजी, जितना रॉ मटेरियल मेरे को एक मोबाइल बनाने के लिए चाहिए, वो सब एप्पल सैमसंग यूज कर रहे हैं। उनने सारे रॉ मटेरियल उनने खरीद लिया है, उनने जहां भी मैं इंडस्ट्री सेटअप कर सकता हूँ वो लोकेशंस वहां पर मेरे को एंट्री करने से मैनेज कर लिया कि मैं वहां एंट्री नहीं कर सकता। अगर ये सब चीजें डिटरमिन कर लेती है CCI, देन CCI is going to uphold a appeal कि हाँ, that particular company has abused its dominant position. Okay. Any doubts so far? Can I proceed? Okay. Now,
There is one.
yes.
There is one question in the chat box from Riteja. Does the dominating player's acquisition of a trademark amount to anti-competitive behavior?
Can you repeat the question?
Does a dominating player's acquisition of a trademark amount to anti-competitive behavior?
Does a dominating player's acquisition of trademark is what you said?
Amount to anti-competitive behavior.
One second. Can I have access to the chat box?
Yes, ma'am.
One second. I'll just look at the chart. Does a dominating player's acquisition of a trademark amount to anti-competitive behavior? No. Acquisition of a trademark. Now, Ritaja, if I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, does a dominating player's acquisition of a trademark amount to anti-competitive behavior? Now, if you are a dominating player, now, the first thing that we will determine here is, did you acquire the trademark in a legal manner or did you acquire the trademark in an illegal manner? Now, what do I mean by a legal or a illegal manner is, if you are a company that has a considerable dominance in that particular market, if you have not misused or abused your dominance in that market to acquire a trademark, it will not amount to anti-competitive behavior. But if it is proved that you have in a way that you have abused your dominant position to acquire that trademark, then it is going to be anti-competitive behavior. To make it more simple is, if I am a dominant player, now if I am a dominant player in the market, if I have certain connections in the market, if I've used those connections, or if I've indulged in any illegal way to acquire a trademark, it is going to be an anti-competitive behavior. But even after being a dominant player in the market, if I've followed all the due process for acquiring a trademark that is given under your IPR laws, there is a certain way in which you acquire trademarks. If you followed that entire procedure, then and acquired a trademark, then it is not going to be anti-competitive behavior. Does that answer your question, Ritaja? I hope. Any more questions, or can I proceed?
Yes, you can proceed, ma'am.
Okay. Now, so I think we've covered what is dominant position, how is it going to be considered as an abuse of dominant position, what is relevant market. So to brief, before I discuss certain cases, to briefly summarize it. So once dominant position has been established, the Competition Commission of India, it is turning to one of the most important question is, was that company indulging in any sort of abusive conduct? Was it abusing its dominant position or not? Now, how do you determine if a company was assuming its dominant position or not? That has also been given very specifically under Section 4, Clause 2 of your Competition Act 2002. The first is if your फर्स्ट फैक्टर इज इफ यू आर इम्पोजिंग, अगर आप किसी भी तरीके का अनफेयर या डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी प्राइस इम्पोज कर रहे हो, ठीक है. नाउ फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एप्पल फॉर टुमारो एप्पल सेज कि एक आईफोन लोगे उसके साथ हम एक आईपैड फ्री देंगे, एंड एक नई कंपनी है जिसने अपने न्यू मोबाइल फोन्स लॉन्च किए हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एप्पल का एक आईफोन उन्होंने बोला है कि 50,000 का आप एक आईफोन लोगे, उसके साथ हम, एक हाइपोथेटिकल सिचुएशन है जहां एप्पल एक डोमिनेंट प्लेयर है टेक्नोलॉजी मार्केट में, वो कह रहा है कि हाँ, आप अगर एक 50,000 का आईफोन लोगे उसके साथ हम आपको एक आईपैड फ्री देंगे. नाउ देयर इज अनदर न्यू company that has entered into your technology market and उनने अपने products introduce किया है, उनने अपना मोबाइल फोन 65,000 के लिए introduce किया है. It is very natural that people are going to be tempted to buy a iPhone for 50,000 and get a iPad for free. Now, the first thing is, अगर आप dominant player हो market में, अगर if you're indulging in any such unfair pricing practices, then it is going to be considered that you are abusing your dominant position. Second factor is, if as a dominant player in the market, if you're restricting the production, the supply, the technological development opportunities that are available for other competitors in the market, then also it is going to be considered as abuse of market, because if you're going to restrict production, supply and technology opportunities for new competitors in the market, you're basically cutting their market access. That is also considered as an abuse of dominant position. Okay. Now, so in simple plain words, Section 4 is prohibiting. It is not prohibiting. Section 4 कहीं भी मना नहीं कर रहा कि आप एक dominant position नहीं enjoy कर सकते हो market में. प्लेनली एक चीज मना कर रहा है कि अगर आपकी डोमिनेंट पोजीशन है, आप उस डोमिनेंट पोजीशन को मिसयूज मत करो to sort of control competition or to sort of control the competitors from entering the market. So Section 4 ka basic aim is that if you are a successful business, if you have opportunities to grow, you grow, but you will not misuse that brand value or that dominant position in the market from letting other competitors to enter the market. तुम competition, undue competition को encourage नहीं करोगे, तुम दूसरे अपने प्रोडक्ट्स लॉन्च करने की अपॉर्चुनिटी दोगे. वो बाद में कंज्यूमर्स की चॉइस है कि वो किस कंपनी का, डोमिनेंट कंपनी का प्रोडक्ट लेना चाहते हैं या नई कंपेटिटर कंपनी का लेना चाहते हैं. बट एज अ डोमिनेंट कंपनी, you do not have the permission from stopping other competitors from entering into the market. This will be a bit more clear with 2-3 cases. Now, first case is, एक आपका केस है बेल एयर ओनर्स एसोसिएशन वर्सेस DLF लिमिटेड. ये 2010-2014 का केस है. सो इसमें बेसिकली क्या हुआ था, DLF लिमिटेड इज अ रेजिडेंशियल कंपनी. वो flats and all. It is a अपार्टमेंट वाला रेजिडेंशियल कंपनी है. मेन बेस इनका गुड़गांव में है, चंडीगढ़ वगैरह ऑल ओवर इंडिया ही है. सो इस केस में क्या हुआ था, DLF ने ऑब्वियसली एक स्कीम निकाली थी दैट वी आर लॉन्चिंग अ न्यू प्रोजेक्ट, यहाँ पर बनाएंगे, फ्लैट्स बनाएंगे. नाउ वो प्रोजेक्ट को लॉन्च करके जब लोगों ने अपना interest दिखाया that yes we are ready to, because DLF is considered to be one of the leading brands in your residential or your residential sector, housing sector में it is one of the leading brands. तो वो brand value को देखते हुए बहुत सारे लोगों ने interest दिखा दिया कि yes we want to buy a flat, DLF के प्रोजेक्ट में हम फ्लैट खरीदना चाहते हैं, उन्होंने अपना इंस्टॉलमेंट मनी दे दिया था. नाउ जब हाउसिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स में क्या होता है, आपसे वो इंस्टॉलमेंट्स में पैसे लेते हैं. लोगों ने पहला इंस्टॉलमेंट, उनका ये गुड़गांव के प्रोजेक्ट का केस है स्पेसिफिकली, लोगों ने फर्स्ट इंस्टॉलमेंट्स दे दी. नाउ 2-3 years के बाद जब एंड ऑफ ऑल द इंस्टॉलमेंट्स में जब लोगों को पोजेशन मिलनी थी, तब DLF ने एक यूनिलैटरल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बना दिया बिफोर, विदाउट कंसल्टिंग द इंटरेस्टेड पार्टीज. जिन लोगों ने वहां पे इंटरेस्ट दिखाया था, होम ओनर्स, होम बायर्स को कंसल्ट किए बिना उन्हें एक यूनिलैटरल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट DLF ने फ्रेम कर दिया था कि हम आपकी पोजेशन 2 साल से डिले कर रहे हैं. जो पोजेशन आपको 2012 में मिलनी थी वो अब आपको 2014 में मिलेगी. एंड अगर आप लोगों को फॉर एग्जांपल 50 लाख देना था एक फ्लैट की पोजेशन के लिए, अब आपको उसके लिए 70 लाख देना पड़ेगा. ये सब उनने होम बायर्स को इन्फॉर्म किए बिना एक यूनिलैटरल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बना दिया था. एंड सो बेसिकली जब ये केस फिर आपकी CCI के पास गया था, CCI ने एस्टैब्लिश किया था कि हमेशा इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है कि अनफेयर प्राइसिंग स्ट्रेटेजीज ही अडॉप्ट की जाए अब्यूज ऑफ डोमिनेंस एस्टैब्लिश करने के लिए. अगर कोई कंपनी ने एक वन साइडेड कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअल टर्म्स भी एस्टैब्लिश कर लिए, उसको भी हम अब्यूज ऑफ डोमिनेंट पोजीशन में टर्म कर सकते हैं. नाउ योर नेक्स्ट केस इज एकदम डिफरेंट केस. आपका है एयरटेल वर्सेस रिलायंस जियो का केस है. नाउ इफ यू रिमेम्बर, बीच में जब जियो लॉन्च हुआ था, इनने बहुत सारी फ्री सर्विसेज दी थी. इनने बोला था कि एक जियो का फोन लोगे उसके साथ आपको अनलिमिटेड इंटरनेट फ्री मिलेगा, और उनने बहुत ज्यादा उनके फोन्स, उनके पैक्स वगैरह में बहुत ज्यादा डिस्काउंट्स दिए थे जब जियो लॉन्च हुआ था. इफ यू रिमेम्बर, दिस इज समवेयर इन 2016-2017 की बात है जब हुआ, और इवन बिफोर दैट. तो नाउ एयरटेल ने जाके कंपटीशन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया के सामने ये केस पुट फॉरवर्ड किया था कि रिलायंस जियो is offering services for free and they're giving very deep discounts. So Airtel ने कहा था कि Jio is indulging in something known as predatory pricing. It is basically, they are basically इतना डिस्काउंट दे रहे हैं, इतनी फ्री सर्विसेज दे रहे हैं, जो हमारे एयरटेल के कंज्यूमर्स हैं वो एयरटेल को छोड़ के रिलायंस जियो के सिम्स या रिलायंस जियो की टेलीकम्युनिकेशन सर्विसेज अवेल करना चाह रहे हैं. तो रिलायंस जियो की ये सब प्रैक्टिसेस के वजह से हमारा जो एयरटेल का एक एस्टैब्लिश्ड बिजनेस है वो लॉसेस में जा रहा है. तो CCI ने सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन एयरटेल से ये पूछा था कि आप एक एस्टैब्लिश्ड कंपनी हो, आप एक डोमिनेंट कंपनी हो, रिलायंस जियो एक नई कंपनी आई है. अगर एक नई कंपनी ये सब ऑफर्स दे रही है, वो तो कंज्यूमर की चॉइस है ना कि वो एयरटेल का प्लान, एयरटेल की टेलीकम्युनिकेशन सर्विसेज लेना चाहता है या रिलायंस जियो की सर्विसेज लेना चाहता है. तो CCI का सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन था कि रिलायंस जियो इज अ वेरी न्यूली लॉन्च्ड कंपनी, इट इज वेरी मच ऑब्वियस कि उनकी एक डोमिनेंट पोजीशन नहीं है. नाउ सिंस डोमिनेंट पोजीशन नहीं है तो एयरटेल का जो क्लेम है उस पे केस अपहोल्ड नहीं हो सकता, क्योंकि एट द एंड ऑफ द डे दो कंपेटिटर्स हैं. अगर एक कंपेटिटर को छोड़ के दूसरे कंपेटिटर के गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज कंज्यूमर यूज करना चाहता है तो इट इज एंटायरली अपॉन द कंज्यूमर, द कंज्यूमर इज फ्री टू चूज. तो इस केस में एयरटेल की जो सबमिशन थी कि हमारी डोमिनेंट पोजीशन सफर कर रही है, उसमें सीसीआई ने बोला था उसमें रिलायंस जियो की कोई गलती नहीं है. इवन इफ योर डोमिनेंट पोजीशन, योर बिजनेस इज सफरिंग, इट इज अप टू द कंज्यूमर्स टू डिसाइड कि वो किस कंपनी के प्रोडक्ट्स यूज करना चाहते हैं. So with this is basically what your section 4 is saying. To quickly sum it up, section 4 is giving you a very simple concept of dominant position. Dominant position is आपकी एक position of strength है market में. Dominant position होना allowed है section 4 and competition act 2002 में. abuse उस dominant position को illegal manner में use करना कि आप दूसरे कंपेटिटर्स को फ्री एक फेयर मैनर में compete ना करने दो मार्केट में, वो अब्यूज ऑफ डोमिनेंट पोजीशन होता है. एंड दैट इज समथिंग विच इज इलीगल एंड विच इज अनलॉफुल अंडर सेक्शन 4. एंड ये सब हम कैसे डिटर्मिन करते हैं? पहले हम रेलेवेंट मार्केट डिटर्मिन करते हैं, उसके बाद डिटर्मिन करते हैं उस रेलेवेंट मार्केट में उस कंपनी की डोमिनेंट पोजीशन है और क्या उस कंपनी ने कुछ ऐसे एक्शंस किए हैं वेयर दे हैव abused that dominant position. So Varun and Suraj, we can be open for questions. This is it. Or anything else anyone else wants me to explain?
If any participant want to ask any question, please unmute your mic and ask directly from the speaker. Or you can also type in the chat box also. We are waiting. Please ask your questions. If any participant has any doubt, please ask. We will wait for 1 or 2 minutes, otherwise we will end the session.
Ma'am, there is one question from Minkal.
Yes. मैम, डोमिनेंट पोजीशन रखना इलीगल नहीं है लेकिन उसका अब्यूज इलीगल है. प्रैक्टिकल टर्म्स में दोनों को डिफरेंशिएट कैसे करते हैं? So Mingle, you're basically asking me what is the ground of की difference क्या है between dominant position and abuse of dominant position?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So डोमिनेंट पोजीशन का मतलब है आपका एक मार्केट पावर है, ठीक है. अब्यूज ऑफ डोमिनेंट पोजीशन है आप उस मार्केट पावर को मिसयूज कर रहे हो. नाउ फॉर एग्जांपल, मेरा एक मार्केट पावर है. फॉर एग्जांपल, मैं कल को कोचिंग, लॉ की कोचिंग लेनी शुरू कर देती हूँ, ठीक है. 1 साल में मेरे YouTube के चैनल पे बहुत सारे सब्सक्राइबर्स बन जाते हैं और लोग वैसे भी जैसे माइक्रोसॉफ्ट टीम्स वगैरह पे भी मेरे से लॉ के एंट्रेंसेस की कोचिंग लेना चाहते हैं, ठीक है. मेरी एक डोमिनेंट पोजीशन बन गई है ये कोचिंग सेक्टर में. कल को आप भी अपना एक लॉ का कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट शुरू करना चाहते हो, ठीक है. नाउ अगर किसी ने कोचिंग लेनी है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप में से किसी ने जुडिशरी या फिर लॉ के किसी एंट्रेंस की भी तैयारी करनी है, द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट यू डू इज आप हमेशा गूगल करते हो, रिव्यूज पढ़ते हो कि कौन सा कोचिंग सेंटर का रिजल्ट अच्छा है, कौन सा कोचिंग सेंटर में ज्यादा बच्चे पढ़ना चाह रहे हैं, है ना. नाउ उन सब सर्च रिजल्ट्स में आया कि सबरीना मैम का जो कोचिंग सेंटर है वहां पर जा रहे हैं. सबरीना मैम की एक लॉ कोचिंग सेंटर में डोमिनेंट पोजीशन है, बट कल Minkle, you yourself want to set up your own law का coaching center, ठीक है? And मेरे को पता चलता है कि Minkle has started a law coaching center and students are really liking the way she is teaching them. तो लोग जो कंज्यूमर्स हैं, जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, वो आपका कोचिंग सेंटर ज्वाइन करना चाह रहे हैं, ठीक है? बट कल को मैं ऐसा कुछ कर दूं जैसे कि मैं अगर फॉर एग्जांपल कोचिंग की फीस 10,000 ले रही हूँ एक कोर्स के लिए एंड यू आर ऑल्सो टेकिंग इट फॉर 10,000, हम दोनों का कोचिंग फीस सेम है, मैं कल को एकदम रिड्यूस कर दूं अपनी फीस, मैं बोलूंगी मैं 3,000 में कोचिंग दूंगी, दैट इज व्हाट इज अब्यूज ऑफ डोमिनेंट पोजीशन। मैं ऐसी एक प्रेडेटरी प्राइसिंग स्कीम अडॉप्ट कर रही हूँ जिससे कि लोग आपके पास ना आए, आपके बिजनेस में ना आए, मेरे पास आके कोचिंग ले, ठीक है? डज दैट क्लियर इट अ बिट?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. So basically, if you are going to आप किसी भी कोई भी ऐसी चीज कर रहे हो अपनी एक एस्टैब्लिश्ड पोजीशन का मिसयूज करते हुए कि दूसरा कंपेटिटर मार्केट में ऑपरेट ही ना कर पाए, आप उसका बिजनेस कट डाउन कर रहे हो अनलॉफुल वे में, that is how you differentiate. Yes, Ritaja is, ma'am, does this constitute unlawful tying and bundling under antitrust law when a dominant corporation requires a license to use? Yes, Ritaja, that is a very good point. I actually missed out on this. And your tying and bundling, if you are going into any sort of tying and bundling agreement, that also amounts to abuse of dominant position under section 4(2) of the clause. Ritaja, do you want me to ask? Yes, ma'am. How can small businesses effectively prove that a dominant enterprise has abused its position under section 4? So, Reshma, for a small enterprise to basically prove before your Competition Commission of India if a business or dominant enterprise has abused its position, is there are factors that are given under section 19(4) and there are factors that are given under section 4(2). सेक्शन 4(2) के फैक्टर्स मैं आपको फिर से एक बार बता देती हूँ। इन फैक्टर्स सेक्शन 19(4) के फर्स्ट फैक्टर्स हैं मार्केट शेयर, साइज, रिसोर्सेज, इकोनॉमिक पावर, ये फैक्टर्स, और सेक्शन 4(2) में जो स्पेसिफिकली आपके सेक्शन 4(2) ऑफ द कॉम्पिटिशन एक्ट में फैक्टर्स दिए हुए हैं, like unfair or discriminatory pricing conditions, restricting production or development, denial of any sort of market access, and indulging in any sort of tying and bundling agreement. If these factors under section 4(2) can be proved in front of the CCI by a small business, then your dominant enterprise is said to have abused its dominant position. So ये factors are given under section 4(2), उसके basis पे CCI अपना decision बनाता है. Any more questions?
No, ma'am, I do not see any question in the chat box. If anyone want to ask any question, please unmute your mic or type in the chat box. Otherwise, we will end the session within 1 minute. I request to all the participants that a feedback form has been shared in the chat box. Please do share your feedback with us. A Google form has been shared. Ma'am, I do not see any question. Thank you for the wonderful session, and thank you very much for your valuable time. I think we can end the session.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you to all the participants for joining today's session. We will share the e-certificates within 24 hours. Now we are ending the session. Thank you to all of you.